single one of our 3 sets today, we've had nice banter going into it, which is great. We have Dubs Haqq here with us from Chenango Forks, along with his teammates Tyler Hayes, Zander, Arnold. This is Sonny and D for Sonny Spira, myself, Dan Tortora, a product of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside and brought to you by Progressive Dental with multiple locations here in the Southern Tier. We're here at the Kirkwood location on 1113 US 11 in Kirkwood, New York. So for Chenango Forks, gentlemen, welcome. You will be sharing a microphone. I love the fact of everything you talked about going into this, which obviously shows that you guys are competitive with one another, for sure. So, Zander, I'm going to have you take the mic first here. There.
I'm going to say my name.
I love again that the whole set should have showed you that it was live. What do I have to do? Say my name? Zander. We said it already, so you're good. That part's covered. Okay. Tell me something good about Tyler and about Dubs. What would you like to say about your teammates?
Oh boy. Well, Tyler, he's my right guard. He's very good. I love Tyler because he likes to hit people like extremely hard. Like it's just really fun to run behind him, and just watching him hit people hard and then getting back in the huddle and laughing is just amazing. And then Dubs likes to steal my touchdowns every now and then. So because we run down the field, he runs like he has a really big play, and then we get back to the huddle and he goes, Z, let me take this one. All right, you can have it then. So that's my thing about Tyler and Dubs.
Okay, so you would like Dubs to share more?
Yeah, if he shares a little bit more, that'd be better.
Yeah, we were talking about the mathematics beforehand. That you have more touchdowns, he has more yards.
Yeah.
Okay, but that that happens. A 1-2 punch. That's what you need. There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
He does all the work down the field and Doug just puts it in the end zone.
Okay, from your lineman here. Okay, so Tyler, tell me something good about Zander and Dubs. Something good, not what you just said. But
I block for these two, and
Yeah.
wouldn't want to block for any other two. So it's awesome. Z, he runs the ball really hard, almost like harder than anyone I've ever seen. Just puts his head down, goes to work, gets back in the huddle, does it again. It's just awesome to have a guy like him running the ball. Same with Dubs, a little bit quicker than Zander, but does about the same. Puts his head down, runs the ball just like that. I mean, when we run the ball, probably, 100 times a game. That's what you got to do. So,
have you always been known for being a blatantly honest person?
I mean, I guess so. I've never been told that, but sure.
I mean, you're very this is how you feel.
Yeah.
You don't hide it.
Yeah.
They're fighting with each other before the thing here, and you're saying, well, you do this well, you don't do this well.
They both do things very well, but
Yeah.
they both have they do different stuff. Both of them do. So.
Yeah, and you like blocking for them.
Yeah, I do.
All right, Dubs, tell me something good about Tyler and Zander.
Well, Tyler is my right guard, and he blocks really well. Makes it pretty easy on me and Z to run the ball, so I love him for that. Z, been playing with Z for a while. He runs almost as good as me. Nah, Z's a really good player, especially on defense and both sides of the ball, actually. So it's good playing with both of them.
How many times do you ask him if you can take it on the next play?
So Dana didn't tell the whole story. I'll run like 60 yards down and get caught because I'm slow, and I was like, okay, Zan, I'm put it in the end zone. So that's the main part.
I can appreciate that. When Fred Taylor would play, there was always somebody behind Fred Taylor in Jacksonville, like Chiron Stith, and just like some of these random guys, and they would get to punch it in, and it would make me so mad that Fred ran like 82 yards, but they didn't give him the last 2. And if you're playing fantasy football, that counts. So I used to get so mad that he didn't get the touchdowns, he got the yards. And in Dan Marino's last game, love Dan Marino, but I'm a Jaguars fan. So Dan Marino's last game, 62-7, got beat by Jacksonville. And Fred Taylor ran it was like an 81-yard run. And it's that same type of thing. They're on the goal line, and I'm like, I better see number 28 out there because I want to get mad. All right, Sonny, go ahead.
Okay, so my question, I'm going to ask you more along the lines of talk about when you first started on varsity to now, And what are some of the things that the people before you left you with?
Well, I got put up in ninth grade for sectionals, and then we ended up losing that year. So kind of seeing the seniors cry and stuff kind of took a toll on all the pull-ups actually. So after that, we haven't really lost that much because we've been pushing ourselves to not have to deal with that again. So yeah, we're just trying to like work our butts off so we don't have to feel that sorrow that they did.
Okay. Any messages they passed down to you other than that? Like
do
other
what
than
they
what you saw?
couldn't.
Yeah?
Do what they couldn't. Kind of hit hard. So
That's cool. Okay. Let's hear.
Did you hear what he said
Sal?
in the middle of all
Can
this?
you ask the question?
But Sonny, did you hear what he said when he's answering the question? He's still blatantly honest. That was just like, he was like, we didn't lose it. He's like, yes, we did. Such an honest person. I love it though. You know what? I would have you block for me too.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I would. I definitely would. I think it's the mustache that sells it. What do you think, Coach? Is it the stash that sells it for everybody?
You are right. He's blatantly honest, too.
He is.
I love it.
He is. But the thing is like, I think his teammates know that, and you want to get better because he's not going to lie to you, ever.
And the other thing for sure, if you saw him block, you'd want to run behind him, too.
Oh yeah. And just jump on his shoulders and be like, please push somebody.
Okay, so my question was fairly simple. When did you start playing varsity, right? And now that you're a senior, what are some of the things you learned as you started playing for Forks?
I came to Forks in 10th grade, and I got pulled up to varsity in 10th grade, and that was when we won the state championship. And to like play behind those guys like Hunter Gabor and Matt Paskey and Ethan Brown, those guys, to really see like how they ran stuff and like how we did things as a team. It like showed us how to be leaders, you know. And then last year we had great leaders with like Lucas Scott and Ray Austin and those guys. So we've had a bunch of good leaders to show us how to do stuff around here. So
Great. Okay, Zander. How about yourself?
So same with Hayes. I got pulled up. Well, not same with Hayes because I didn't move to Forks, but I got pulled up in 10th grade for our state championship year, and seeing a lot of those guys win the states and having them all happy and stuff. Like it's a different feeling than what you would expect. But last year with a shortened season, it was kind of sad because seeing those guys, those upperclassmen leave, all sad with only 6 games and not get the chance to play in the playoffs or the state championship. It's kind of sad seeing that, and now we're here in the playoffs. So just trying to like tell the younger guys to like put everything you got into what is coming up, and that's about all I got.
Well, that's a good point because last year, right? I mean, you had a season, but it wasn't a normal season, and teams that have aspirations to do more kind of got gypped. And those kids who work just like yourselves are now in their senior year. You know, it's kind of a kissing your sister type of moment. You know, it's not really that. You know, wonderful. So, let me ask you this now. So, as a senior, if there's one message you could pass on to the guy that's going to take your spot next year, what would you tell him?
Put it all out on the field and don't come off the field saying you could put it more on the field.
No regrets. Okay. How about yourself, Tom?
make the most of every day, every practice, every lift. Just do the little things and just enjoy your time while you got it because it's going to be gone quick. So.
Okay. All right, Dubs.
I'd say, take advantage of the opportunity because it goes by fast, and just work your butts off. Try and just get the best out of it.
Your coach, he was right there. Dubs, I'm going to start with you. What is the biggest lasting statement, word of advice? What from Coach has resonated with you the most?
Well, Coach tells us a lot. So, we just had practice. All I can think about is finish through the line. Never give up on the run and just always finish.
Always finish. Okay. Tyler, what's something from Coach that stays with you?
He always says, like in pregame before a game, like get better today because we always have an opportunity to get better and make the most of every snap and every down you got. So it's great to get better.
Okay, Zander, what about you?
Oh boy. Let's see. When he says that the play's not perfect, we got to get back on the ball and do it again until the play gets perfect. And if we don't do it perfect or like we jump off sides, we got to do push-ups after that. So that's what sticks with me.
Success, as I spoke with Coach about, is something when I think of Chenango Forks, I think of success. Do you feel that on your shoulders? Do you feel that history with you, or does it feel like a clean slate every year?
No, it's definitely hard because with the guys like back last year and the year before, there's big, huge shoes to fill for us coming up, and having to fill those shoes and play for Forks is not easy. It's a lot harder than what most people think. So,
What's been the hardest thing for you?
probably filling the shoes from the upperclassmen that we had. That's probably the hardest one.
Tyler, what about you? What does it mean to play for Chenango Forks?
It's like a family, you know. Same thing Zander says as well, like filling the shoes of the upperclassmen that were there before us. Like we hadn't lost a game in 2 years, and you got a little bit of that like on your back, trying not to lose. But you just got to go out there and give it everything you got. So.
Dubs, going off of what Tyler said, you know, obviously you want to win every game, but when you keep winning and you feel that and that streak keeps going, do you feel that pressure when you go into each game? Do you feel the pressure of the fact that, you know, you've gotten so many in a row, you don't want to be that team to put it up on the other side?
I wouldn't see that necessarily. No, we don't really think about that stuff going into games. We really try and focus on the team, the opponent, because each team we play we take them seriously. So we don't really necessarily think about that stuff.
Sonny?
Excuse me. I was going to ask you, I'll kind of piggyback on that because of the pressure that is put on the expectations. So how much of that do you feel, and then how have you dealt with it?
Well, preseason there was a lot of pressure, especially after having that shortened season and our previous seniors not being able to play. Like we did have pressure, so like I don't know, we just worked our butts off to get us where we are now. So I guess you can say we handle it by working out.
Okay.
Can you ask that question again, please?
Playing for Forks, there's a lot of expectations. How do you handle all those expectations?
Just go out there and you got to do what you got to do. Just play for your teammates and play for the people around you. I mean, there's some pressure, but really we got great coaches and great teammates, so that makes it a little bit easier.
So what do you say to somebody that says, listen, it's just expected. You guys are going to be there again?
Well, it's not expected because we prepare just as hard or harder than any other team. So we put in the work and we do everything we got to do to get there. So
do the work. Okay, Xander, same question.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not easy to do that. To like be Forks, especially like the. I don't know. It's just not easy to be Forks, especially like.
You're being honest. Keep going.
Right. I don't know. That's about it. It's just not easy being Forks football and playing. Just like playing for like the guys and the community, just playing for everybody.
Do you have a mechanism of coping, or like a thing, or a music, or like your zone, or something to make sure that you stay where you belong mentally?
Well, the locker room, we have a big speaker that Hayes brings, and we always just sit down there, sit in our lockers, and listen to the music, and just prepare for what's going to be ahead and how big of a game it's going to be, because you never know when your last game is going to be. So
that's right.
Yeah, we learned a lot about that from last year. So right before we get into rapid fire, Zander, I'm going to stay with you and each of you on this one. It's kind of a two-parter. Is what did you learn from last season, what did you learn from having to deal with the last 18 months essentially that's helped you to appreciate the game more, and what does it mean to you to still be alive in the postseason right now?
Don't take anything for granted. Always work 100% on and off the field in the weight room, and don't do anything not smart off the field.
Fair enough. Tyler, what about you?
Pretty much the same thing. Don't take things for granted, because those seniors last year, they went out and did everything that like they do in a regular season, but they didn't get postseason like we're getting right now. So make the most of everything you got.
Do you feel like you have more with you? Do you feel like not just for this season, but you're trying to do something for those seniors as well? Do you feel that with you?
Yeah, it definitely means something to us, because those guys, they were our brothers, and like they didn't get what we're getting right now. So gonna make the most of that for them.
Well, you Dubs, what'd you learn from the last 18 months?
They pretty much said it all. Just give it all you got, because not many people get the opportunity to be where we are right now.
Fair enough. So with that being said, you know what rapid fire looks like. You were off camera here trying to catch these guys in a laugh or something. So now you have the opportunity to be on the hot seat. We're here with Chenango Forks on Sonny and D, a product of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of Progressive Dental here in Kirkwood, New York, and there are locations all throughout the Southern Tier. We're going to go back and forth. I'm going to get to ask each of you one, and then you'll ask me, and then Sonny as well. So with that being said, I will defer to Sonny as I have before. So Sonny, go ahead. You've got the floor.
Right, I'm going to start with Zander. He's right next to me. So, Zander, you get to spend the day with your favorite pro athlete. Who is it, and what do you do?
I can't grab the mic. My favorite pro athlete. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. That's a hard question. I don't know, man. I'm just going to have to stay short and simple and say Saquon Barkley.
And what would you guys do? You got a whole day.
Probably talk about how the NFL's like and just see what it's like to be an NFL player, and that's about it.
Cool. Okay. Tyler, all right. All right. You have the ability to go anywhere and eat anything. So come on, man, don't be ranking up. You can go anywhere you want and you get any meal you want. Where would you go and what would you have?
That's a good question, because there's a lot of good food. And,
Yeah, there is.
Do you have more than one restaurant by you?
I'd have a hard time with it too.
What you laughing about? Yeah.
Remember, he blocks for you. Yeah.
Honestly, probably stay right here in Kirkwood and go to Beer 30 and get some chicken wings.
Okay. Do you have a favorite flavor?
Medium garlic parm.
Medium garlic parm.
Garlic parm.
All right.
All right, Dubs. You could go to any sporting event. Which one would you go to and why?
NBA game to watch Kevin Durant play, because he's my favorite player.
KD?
Yep.
Really?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You.
We got a LeBron fan down there.
No,
Oh.
not really. No, that's
No,
all
none
right.
of that.
I like both of those guys. That's all right.
Boo.
Okay, man.
All right, you got one for Sonny now, Dubs.
Okay. I'm trying to think of something that has me laugh.
I got a good question if you're not going to ask, jeez.
What's your favorite high school team?
What sport?
Football, of course. Yeah.
Football. My favorite high school football team. Well,
I'm gonna be like, it's not great.
no. No, I'm gonna. I gotta, because I have affiliations with multiple schools, because I've helped assistant coach at UE. I coached at Maine for years. You know, I'm best friends with the Tarnowski family, so I am going to be politically correct and say UE, ME, and the Forks. I keep an eye on all three of those teams. Okay, all three.
Forks
Forks is in there. Okay.
is in there.
Logan just left, but that's fine. Tyler, you gotta.
I'm asking?
Yeah.
Who am I asking?
Wait, what was the question? You have the question.
Could you read?
Yeah. Okay.
Any question to Sonny, Tyler?
If you could vacation any... Oh, we already asked that. Never mind. All right. You said Italy.
No, vacation, I'd probably go somewhere else.
Okay, if you could vacation anywhere, where would you go?
Well, being how it's nice and toasty right now, I would go somewhere warm. So Hawaii would be a logical choice.
All right.
What was your favorite memory in Syracuse?
My favorite memory in Syracuse. Ooh, that's a pretty good question. Now, if my wife was sitting here, I would say meeting my wife at college, right? Because that's where I met her. So that would be the politically correct move. But she's not sitting right here. So I would say my greatest memory was probably winning the Big East championship in, it was my sophomore or junior year. Winning the Big East championship and playing in Madison Square Garden. That's there's nothing like Madison Square Garden for any kind of basketball event. So
That's a good answer.
that'd be it.
I like that. All right, Zander, I'm going to ask my first question to you
Done,
since,
baby.
since you got the mic. I'm going to ask something that has not been asked before. So this goes along the lines of travel, but it's got 3 parts.
Oh man.
You can go anywhere in the world that you've never been. Where do you go? You can take one person that you know and one celebrity.
Celebrity's easy.
Ah, gosh.
Ah, babe.
Where would I go? And who would I bring with me? Oh boy. Probably go. I've always wanted to be go to Nebraska, so
Okay.
I'd probably go to Nebraska. I don't know why. I just something about Nebraska I want to go to see.
It's not the football team. Definitely not the football team.
I'd probably bring my mom.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. Celebrity. You know what? Hayes, I'll bring Saquon just for you.
All right. Fair enough. Tyler. Because you are a very, very honest human being. Who do you think has been the most blatantly honest person in your life to you?
My dad. My dad. Yeah, my dad, definitely.
Okay, why?
Well, he's not going to sugarcoat it for me, and he's going to tell me what I got to work on and what I'm doing well, so
So you learned this from him.
you could say that, I guess.
Okay, can we shout out what's Dad's first name?
Keith.
Heath?
Keith.
Keith.
Yeah.
Shout out to Keith. What's your
Shout out
favorite
to
thing
Keith.
about Keith?
He could cook well.
He can cook well. Okay. All right, Dubs. Dubs, I asked the question about music, the song that you would not want to hear. What song would you play repeatedly and never get sick of?
Yeah, I'm about to say Adele. When We Were Young by Adele.
When We Were Young by Adele?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, me, Hayes, and Lucas Ickles, we just drive around, listen to Adele usually before games, and gets us going pretty much.
It's a very interesting person to listen to before a game.
That is an
How does
choice.
How does that like get you revved up for a game?
I don't know, it's just the emotions. Also Bruno Mars, shout out Bruno Mars.
Like, so you listen to Adele's Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
What? You're making fun of us. What's that?
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't say we listen to it before games.
No, but I'm saying it's listen. Whatever you're doing, it's working. So keep listening to Adele. But it's just it's more mellow than I would expect before a game.
Oh, she hits those high notes, you know.
All right, fair enough.
These guys are cerebral, man. They're thinkers, Dan.
They are.
These guys are thinkers.
All right, Dubs, what's your?
You think the mic can't hear you?
I love what you just did.
Um,
I won't say what you
my
said.
question.
What's Dub's question for me?
Question,
I think this is going to be a weekly thing, Sonny. I think I need to keep these guys around. Windsor and here. Even though you made Logan leave, but.
Who? All right, I'm gonna try to get deep on this.
Okay.
If you can go anywhere in the world with, I don't know, if you go anywhere in the world with no Wi-Fi and just yourself, like no like connect contact to anyone else, where would you go?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd probably go to Hawaii. I've always wanted to go, and some of the players that have been recruited, I've had the opportunity to speak with them from there. And I would just, one of my friends who's also the coach of Navy, Ken Niamatalolo's from there, and there's some people that I've gotten to learn, that are connected to Hawaii. And I would just, I don't know, I would love to go there and just be at peace. Being a broadcaster and being on the internet, you would think like, oh yeah, love the internet, love Wi-Fi, whatnot. I appreciate the avenue that God gives me to get my show out however I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to put electronics away and just to be with the people. Like if I'm at dinner, I want to, like, if you and I were eating dinner, I want to be talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on my phone. And, I want to be like getting to know who you are and having a memory in that moment. And I feel like people have lost that. So I have no problem putting my phone away.
Mm-hmm.
But send me to Hawaii or anywhere where the water is clear. I'll go there. All right, Tyler, what do you got?
What's your favorite college football team, and who's your favorite college football player?
My favorite college football team of all time, Syracuse. My college football team that is not Syracuse, that kind of like became one of my teams just because I've been defending them for so many years, is UCF. So I have, and Orlando is like a second home for me. So I would say that. But my favorite player on the team right now, and this is before everybody started to like him, was Sean Tucker, because I was talking about him before the season started. But so I'm a fan of Sean Tucker, but my favorite Syracuse player of all time, Donovan McNabb. Number 2, Eric Dungy. And I got to spend a lot of time with Eric and his family. So, all right, Zander.
If you were to go on a deserted island, if you were to go on a deserted island and you had 3 things to bring with you, what do you bring?
Do I have like food and water or no?
Yeah, sure.
I already have food and water?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would bring my dog, Lily, because she's awesome. So I'd bring my dog, and I'm not saying this just to say this. I would bring my girlfriend because she was worth the wait. I'll say that. So I'd bring her, I'd bring Lily, and there's one other thing I can bring. I would bring like a notepad and a pen, because again, with like technology and stuff, nothing means more to me than being able to jot something down. I still like write my jokes, if I have anything important, it's written in a notebook somewhere. And I just love that because I could take it with me. So I would bring a notebook, and I'd bring the lady, and I'd bring my dog. That's what I would do. And we would just kind of hang out and probably, tell some stories, write them down. That'd be cool. So with that being said, for Zander Arnold, Tyler Hayes, Tyler, you're awesome, and Doves Haqq here, you all have been fantastic. But Tyler, I feel like I want to. He's like my lie detector. Like, you don't need one of those things to have stitched up to you. You just need to hold his hand, and you'll always tell the truth. But with that being said, Chenango Forks, thank you so much, gentlemen. Sonny and Dee for Sonny Spira, and myself, Dan Tortora, a product of Wake Up Call from Progressive Dental. Thank you, Sonny, and thank you to these incredible gentlemen, and an incredible night. Thank you.
Hey, good luck with Skinny Atlas, guys.
Good luck. God bless.
And